Hey guys, welcome to the Progressive Vibe. I'm your host, Dottie here. Today is March 7th, 2021. This is season 3, episode 8 of the show. The title is The Stockton Experiment. Study shows rich got richer as pandemic unfolded. Welcome. Hope everyone's doing well. Had a good week. Hope you guys had a good weekend. Unfortunately, the weekend is ending. Yes, I had a pretty good week. Had a great weekend. Just ended pretty quickly, but I mean, you know how that goes. But positivity is the key to success in my eyes, so I try to keep that positivity going. Two quick plugins for today's program before we get started. Anchor FM voice messages, no matter where you listen, and even if you don't have the Anchor app, you can send me audio messages letting me know how I'm performing. Would be helpful, or just having general questions about the show or thoughts concerning the news at hand. I will include your voice messages in the podcast episodes. Also, I will have the voice messages link attached to the episodes. Last plug, causes.com. It makes it quick and easy to understand the laws Congress is considering. You can read clear summaries of upcoming and active bills, the news, and any matter of political importance. You can tell your lawmakers how to vote on those issues by clicking yay or nay in support or opposing of the issues being voted upon. And you can track how your elected officials voted on bills so you can hold them accountable if need be in the next election cycle. On that note, guys, we're going to end this intro and get into today's show. Stay tuned. Hey guys, welcome back to the program. So first part of the title, the Stockton Experiment, I wanted to get into that with you guys. I had an article by Vox. The title of the article reads, "When a California city gave people a guaranteed income, they worked more, not less." I wanted to give you guys my knowledge of the Stockton Experiment. This Stockton Experiment was architected by now former mayor Michael Tubbs. Last time I looked into the Stockton Experiment, he was the current mayor, so I'm kind of curious to see as to why he's the former mayor now. But that's a whole nother conversation for another day. But anyway, he was the architect behind this experiment. It was a small study with about 125 cash recipients, and they were randomly chose. It was a funded program known as the Stockton Economic Empowerment Demonstration, known as SEED. And the experiment received about $1 million in grant money from the Economic Security Project. If you guys didn't know what the Economic Security Project was, the Economic Security Project helps underscore that poverty is a lack of cash and not a lack of character, and usefully adds to the body of evidence that free money doesn't disincentivize employment. It can actually boost it. So it's a pretty fascinating project, if you will, and it seems that it obviously helps people that are in poverty. So Um, that's pretty much what I got from it, or what I knew of it. It was $500 per month each individual got, and they could spend that however they wanted to. I'm pretty sure the the randomly chosen, what, they use that money for stuff that everyday people probably use it for. I mean, if you give um the necessary money to people, they're gonna use it for the necessary reasons. You know, they know where to put the money. It's going back in the economy anyway. I mean, 9 times out of 10, the money is going to be used to pay some sort of bill, or food expenses, or, uh, a lot of people out here have families to take care of. So, again, the basic necessities in life, people look for. So that's pretty much where what I got from it and what I know of the Stockton experiment. Um, but I wanted to read you guys some of this article. So it goes to say, the city of Stockton, California embarked on a bold experiment 2 years ago. It decided to distribute $500 a month to 125 people for 24 months with no strings attached and no work requirements. The people were randomly chosen from neighborhoods at or below the city's median household income, and they were free to spend the money any way they liked. Meanwhile, researchers studied that what impact the cash had on their lives. It goes on to say the results from the first year of the experiment, which spanned from February 2019 to February 2020, are now in, and they're extremely encouraging for its participants and advocates who see unconditional cash transfers as an effective way to help people escape poverty. The most eye popping finding is that the people who received the cash managed to secure full time jobs at more than twice the rate of people in a control group who did not receive cash. Within a year, the proportion of cash recipients who had full time jobs jumped from 28% to 40%. The control group saw only a 5% jump over the same period. It goes on to say the researchers wrote in their report that the money gave the stability, the stability they needed to set goals, take risks, and find new jobs. One man in his 30s had been eligible for a real estate license for over a year, but hadn't got it because he just couldn't afford to take the time off work. Thanks to the freedom offered by the extra $500 per month, he said, his life was, quote, converted 360 degrees because I have more time and net worth to study to achieve my goals, end quote. I'm going to read one last paragraph, guys. It says, critics of cash assistant programs often say that handing out, quote, free money will make people less inclined to find jobs. But in the research done to date, unconditional cash does not tend to disincentivize work. In several programs from Alaska and North Carolina in the US to Finland and Spain in Europe, it has had no effect on employment either way. In some cases, it seems to embolden people with an entrepreneurial bent. For instance, in Japan, initial survey results have shown that recipients are 3.9 times more interested in launching a new business. So I'm going to post this article with the episode, as I said before. But I mean, to me, again, it just furtherly uh, hammers the point home that when you put more money in people's hands, it impacts the economy positively. It impacts people's lives, which is most important in my opinion. But I mean, it just helps people out, and it helps their family out. And isn't that what, I don't know, just isn't that what we strive for in society, is to make sure everyone, doesn't go homeless, everyone, has food to eat, everyone has health care, everyone has the basic necessities that they need to sustain in their everyday lives. I don't think that's too much to ask for, but you have a bunch of people out there that think that, well, if you hand people, free money, then they're going to be less inclined to work. And that's just like not the case. Maybe people will be able to like actually save money, because I think like definitely over 50% of people don't even have $600 in savings. So like maybe for a change, people will actually be able to save money. I mean, that's not a bad thing that we're that we're asking for. I mean, all only thing that people are asking for is a living wage, and to get the basic necessities in life that everyone else has. You shouldn't have to just be rich to get these necessities. That's pretty much my whole thought on it. Let me see. I had something else that I wanted to share with you guys. It was a quote by AOC, and it said won't she says won't higher wages question mark bring back unions. And she said, quote, it is utterly embarrassing that, quote, pay people enough to live is a stance, end quote. She goes on to say, that's that's oh my bad. I totally botched that. Let me start over. She says, won't higher wages, bring back unions. It is utterly embarrassing that pay people enough to live is a stance that's even up for debate. She goes on to say, override the parliamentarian and raise the wage. McDonald workers in Denmark are paid $22 an hour plus 6 weeks paid vacation. $15 an hour is a deep compromise, a big one considering the phase in. So I mean, like, that's just like a perfect point. I mean, you have countries, um, you know, such as in other countries, and like such as Denmark, are paying $22 an hour at um, just your fast food shops, where like the compromise over here in the United States is $15, and like she says, a deep compromise because it should be more than $15. Um, but and that's considering the phase in. I mean, $15 is not going to be reached until what, 2024, 2025. That is a deep compromise, and it's seeming like that can't even be the bare minimum over here in the United States, which always claims to be the most wealthiest country on the planet. And it's just hard to I don't know. It's just hard to see that being a thing when you have people making $7.25 at a bare minimum. But we're gonna take a quick break, guys, and we're gonna come back and bring the second article that I wanted to discuss with you guys, um, and that is a study showing that rich got richer as the pandemic unfolded. So stay here, guys. We're gonna be back with the second half, um, and yeah, stay tuned, guys. Hey, we're back here on the show. So this was a article from MSN. It was from Bloomberg, and it reads: "Rich Americans got richer as pandemic unfolded." Pew study shows. So I'm gonna do like I did in the last segment, and that's just read a couple of paragraphs, some stuff that stuck out to me, and I'm going to post this article alongside the first article in the previous segment. So let's get right into this. Um, it says many wealthy Americans are poised to emerge from the pandemic in better shape than they entered it, widening the gulf between the rich and the poor, a new study suggests. About 40% of upper income adults in the US said their financial situation improved in the last year, according to a Pew Research Center survey released Friday. Almost one third of their lower income counterparts said their finances had worsened over the same period. Those in the wealthier group said they bolstered their savings during the outbreak since they couldn't spend money on things they normally would. So I want to elaborate on this a little bit. So it's saying, people, wealthy people seem to be doing pretty well uh as the pandemic is unfolding, um and during the pandemic. But again, it said that one third of the lower income Americans said they finances had worsened over the same period. I mean, obviously, like if people are being underpaid on their jobs as it is already, and um, you know, really, the government honestly doesn't help the American people out as much as they should, and in a timely manner. All that stuff factors in the time. All this stuff has to be debated, and uh, you know, more than likely, the debates are just to prolong the debate. It in my opinion, that's just what I think about it. Like the $1,400, I feel like it should have already been given to the people. Uh, you know, First off, I think that it should have been $2,000 and not $1,400. But regardless, I feel like that $1,400 should have reached people's hands a lot sooner. But the debate had to come up, and the bipartisanship, whatever that means nowadays, had to come up and be a factor in it. And it wastes time. Things like this waste time, and the people who need the relief the most are the ones who suffer the most. It's just that simple. Um, I'm going to keep reading a little bit more of this. It goes on to say more than 8 out of 10 respondents in the wealthier group decided their finances as excellent or good. The study shows almost three-quarters of those in the lower income category said their finances were in only fair or poor shape, with about one-third saying they worry about being able to buy enough food to feed their families. So, again, about 8 out of 10 respondents in the wealthier group describe their finances as excellent or good, and one-third of Americans saying that uh, they worry to even put food on their tables to feed their families. Like, it's just it's sad, and let's be real. The majority of these Americans who it hits the hardest is Black and Hispanics. I mean, um, just being just being honest with you guys. I mean, obviously they're poor white people too who need help, uh, and I'm all about getting help to every American. I don't prioritize uh, the way that I want policies for people to impact people's lives. I don't let racial or religion or whatever the case may be, gender specification and all that. I don't allow that stuff to dictate what people need, because um I'm a humane person. But and I know my listeners are humane also, and I know you guys care about people just as much as I do, and that's why we do these shows. That's why you guys, you know, share the podcast, and it reaches, other people who feel the same way. And I mean, we do this stuff together. So again, that's why I always show you guys love, and show you guys, or try to show you guys, how much appreciative I am, because it really does go a long way. Because um, at the end of the day, we all might be living our own lives and things like that, but we want the best for our country. We want the best for the world on a global scale. We want the best for our friends and families and people who we don't even know, because everybody's just trying to live their life. And um, if you can give people more material benefits, such as more money in their pockets, um, what is that going to hurt? And it just kills me that we always find a reason to make excuses for the wealthy. They can save money and it's not a big deal, or they can get huge tax cuts and it's not a deal. Um, but when it comes to low income people and mid class people, if they earn a little bit more money, if they're able to save some money, it's like the end of the world. Like, it's like they should not be able to do that. And that's a problem. That's a huge problem, that um so many people are being devalued. Um it's just sad. I mean, a lot of these people out here who have wealth, um, they tend to not see outside their own bubble. And unfortunately, it's a lot of people in media, um, big media, who pretty much dictates the news that a lot of people see every day. They're in their own bubble as well, and so it's our job to bring these issues to light, because if we don't, then they're going to um, in a way play role play. I mean, it seems like it's just like a soap opera to a lot of media outlets and a lot of people who aren't put in positions aren't put in positions of, oh man, how am I going to feed my family? How am I going to pay my rent that's due in a couple of days, or my mortgage payment, or my car insurance, or my medical bills, or so forth. It's so much stuff that I think a lot of people who are in powerful positions to speak uh, the needs of the American people, the majority of people who's just making a basic income. I think that they're speaking to them in a hollow form, because I don't know. It's just a lot of stuff that I see on cable news. It just rings hollow in so many instances, because everything's not um, political. Some stuff is just plain right or wrong, and you know, again, the media sometimes get in this. Most of the time, gets in this whole little uh, you know, ooh, there's some eye candy. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about that, and let's have people on both sides to debate something that doesn't need to be up for debate. Especially again when we're talking about people who don't have time to hear that the parliamentarian advises, Biden not to raise the minimum wage, when so many people are not earning a minimum wage. So many people have full-time jobs and a family, and are still on the verge of being homeless. And it's just not me just randomly saying this. This is data. This is proof. I mean, you can go look this stuff up. It's right there on Google. But it's sad. It really, really is. But I believe, again, uh, the listeners who listen to this podcast, and me, we're just gonna keep on bringing awareness to it, and keep talking about it, because just like every other situation that piques our interest, we can't let it stuff like this die, because it's going to do is, it's just going to get buried like a lot of news out there that's very, very important, that I feel like should be discussed when it comes to, I don't know, addressing global warming. I don't think that gets talked enough, on the news, because again, it's not the eye candy that the news looks for in a story, and that's the problem right there. News is news. It's not what's the headline that can draw people to watch change from one station to the next station. It's not all about ratings. It's about spreading the truth. It's about giving people a reliable outlet that they can go to, that you can see for yourself if it's right or wrong, and not always trying to have a both sides thing. Everything's not always both sides. And that's what kills me in mainstream media. But again, mainstream media is a whole conversation for a whole nother day. When we come back, we're going to have the vent forum. And then we're going to close out the show, guys. But what do you think about the Pew study about the rich got richer as the pandemic unfolded and the poor got poor? Are you surprised? Are you shocked? But again, I'm gonna post the article so you guys can check it out yourselves. And yeah, guys, so stay tuned. We'll be right back with the vent forum. Hey guys, we're back here on the vent forum. Let's get right into this. Nina Turner said on Twitter, hashtag Medicare for all is a women's right issue. I totally agree. If you guys didn't know, it is International Women's Day. So happy Women's Day to all the women out there, including my mom and my grandmother. Let me go and shout them out. Let's see. Let's keep going. Let's see. Somebody has on Twitter, Sabrina, Senator Kristen Sinema practicing her no vote. It's a video of I guess it's just like a reenactment of how she was doing her whole no vote on the $15 minimum wage. If you guys didn't know who Senator Sinema was, she is a Democrat out of Arizona, and she was one of the few Democrats who voted to not raise the $15 minimum wage. So she's been taking some backlash for that. And if you guys haven't seen the video of her doing the thumbs down, that's what she did. It's pretty much like when the late John McCain did the no vote on getting rid of Obamacare. You know, that would have kicked tens of millions of people off of health care with pre-existing conditions. So he voted no on that. He actually saved people getting kicked off of health care. I'm not a fan of John McCain, but I have to give him props for that. And again, RIP to him, because he has passed. But again, yes, Miss Sinema, she did the no vote, and she did the whole thumbs down, and she had like some, I don't know, it wasn't like your typical like thumbs down, but if you guys haven't seen the video, check it out and you will know exactly what I'm talking about. Let's keep going here. Let's see. I'm trying to keep it within the realm of the podcast, guys. There's so much I could read, but I probably shouldn't. Okay, I'm gonna throw out this right here. How much better does Blake Griffin make the Nets? That's what Skip Bayless said on Twitter. I don't know if you guys, any of my listeners, watch NBA, professional basketball, but I think, Blake Griffin, he's been slowly declining, in my opinion. Maybe it's because he's not been on the right team, but I've always been a fan of Blake Griffin. Maybe he just needs a new team, and the Nets are stacked this year. So they got Harden, they got Durant, they got Irving. I mean, they got shooters, and I think he'll be a great addition, honestly, to the team. It definitely wouldn't hurt the team. I don't know if he's gonna have any huge impact. Like, I don't know if he's gonna average 20 and 10, but I think he'll be a good piece to the team. It'll give the team more I don't know, get a team more athletic ability, I guess. DeAndre Jordan, he's a beast down in the paint, and so adding him with Blake Griffin, I think that'll be pretty good for the Nets. But yeah, so that does it for the vent forum, guys. Hope you like what you heard. We're gonna come back and close the show. Stay tuned. Hey everyone, we're back on the program. That's going to wrap it up for today's show. I hope everyone liked and enjoyed what they heard today. I am a little late with the podcast. I do apologize for that. If you guys are listening to this, it's not Sunday. But I was shooting the podcast Sunday evening and ran into some technical errors, and unfortunately it got too late on me and I eventually just stopped shooting it. So I was a little late, but I do apologize again. Hopefully next week we'll be back on regular schedule, Sunday at 4 p.m. every Sunday at 4 p.m. The Shouts out, obviously, is to you, the listeners. Thank you guys for continuing to like and share the podcast. Thanks for the awesome feedback and the support. It just means the world to me. Obviously, I have a fire and desire to talk about issues that are so dear to me, and I'm fortunate to have a audience who feels the exact same way, and it really, really does make it easier to talk about when the support is just so genuine. Nothing but love, you guys. Until next time, stay positive, stay progressive, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Stay safe.